Getting rid of a pipette, although seems trivial, it's definitely something that is a consideration in a design process, and it's not always an easy step. Hey Nick, today I had a phone call with a client and they wanted to get rid of pipetting as part of their workflow. I know you brought a pipette, one of your favorite instruments.
Of course, always have my trusty pipette with me, by all means.
Well, why did you bring it today? What do you use it for?
Well, the better question is, what don't I use my pipette for? This is it's a wonderful precision instrument. It's a couple $100, but it has this particular pipette is a P200, and it can accurately transport fluids about 200 microliters, P200, down to almost 1 microliter. And it's a great workflow. It's very ergonomic. I can take out individual pipette tips. We interface it with a sample. I can take a precise amount. I can adjust that volume. And then, best of all, when I'm done, get rid of the tip, get a fresh one. It's a fantastic instrument for doing basic research.
Yeah, it's a very handy instrument in our laboratory.
Absolutely.
But one of the reasons that we often find that clients want to get rid of a pipette is if they want to transfer a laboratory process from a laboratory into an outside laboratory process. So, for example, in the home space or in a clinic.
Yeah, not many people have one of these at home.
Exactly, where pipettes are just not used very often. And it's also the operators, right? The operator in a lab is typically trained to use a pipette properly, and outside a lab, that's not always the case. But there's other reasons why people want to get rid of a pipette as well. We often hear people want to get rid of a pipette when they have to transport very small amounts of liquid.
Yes.
Just because at that point in time, you can be a little bit more precise than what a pipette can do. And something we hear often is very viscous solutions. So a pipette is not very good at transferring viscous solutions.
Yeah, in fact, we often run that to lab, and since we're in a kitchen, I've got a great viscous example here. I've got some honey. This is about 2,000 centipoise, and for those of us who don't know what a centipoise is, it's a unit of measurement for viscosity. And water is about 1 centipoise for reference, and honey, I think everybody's pretty familiar with this, about 1,000-fold more thick than that. And trying to pipette honey or something similar to it, and a lot of, quite frankly, a lot of biological samples have this viscosity to it. It's quite difficult to do with a pipette, so I agree with that.
Yeah, so in those kind of instances, we have other tools available, fortunately. So we can use something like microfluidics. Microfluidics is a way to transport very small amounts of liquid in a very controlled fashion. So you can do that in a cart or with some kind of tooling. So that's one way of going about it. But when maybe we're not dealing with very viscous solutions, but just still with like liquids, proper liquids, we can also use off-the-shelf components like transfer pipettes. Some of them are they're very cost-effective. They can transfer a liquid from one place to the next. And some of them are metered, some of them are not metered. But typical problems that you can run into is that one of those pipettes is maybe transfers 20 microliters, but then it's plus or minus 4 microliters. So then you're not very precise. And sometimes it doesn't matter, but sometimes it really matters for the outcome.
Depending on the accuracy of the system that you're working in.
Exactly. So getting rid of a pipette, although seems trivial, it's definitely something that is a consideration in a design process, and it's not always an easy step.
Absolutely. Yeah. But there's cases when it certainly is needed, and I definitely agree with that.
Exactly.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day. I'm going to go have some honey with my bio break.
Have a great day.